What's up, guys? Okay, so today I am going to show you how I do ackee and saltfish with fry fritters, Jamaican style. So there you go. I'm turning them fritters. So I'm going to dive right into it. So this is the ackee and saltfish. And this is the fritters. So this is Sunday morning breakfast in my home. So let's dive into how I do it now. So this is a pound of saltfish. Some people said codfish. Well, either way, it's the same. Codfish or saltfish, whichever one. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get a pot with some water and rinse the saltfish off. And I'm going to boil it. Upon boiling up, I let it boil for about 5 minutes because I don't want all the salt to come out. I don't want it to be fresh because when it's fresh, it doesn't bring that taste to my food. There you go. So now the saltfish is boiling. So I'm going to get the flour ready for the dough ready for the fritters, and I'm going to cut up the seasonings and all that. Okay, so I'm getting all the ingredients. So watch the saltfish boiling. So that's 5. As soon as it becomes 5 minutes, I just turn the stove off. I leave the saltfish in the water for a few minutes while I'm getting everything together. So first thing I'm going to use for the fritters is some scallion. And I'm going to cut up these scallion as small as possible. So the scallion bring up a nice flavor in your fritters. A lot of people wouldn't use the scallion, but the scallion give it such a nice flavor. The next thing I'm going to use is some thyme leaf. So I don't let the stick of the thyme get into it. I am going to, wash my seasoning because I have to wash my seasoning. So I wash the thyme, wash the scallion, and I pick off the leaf of the thyme, put it in the bowl. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is, there you go. So that's the scallion and the thyme. So I'm going to get the saltfish that I need to use in the fritters. So get some cold water, and I'm going to take out a piece of the saltfish, put it in the cold water, just rinse it off a little bit. So this is for the fritters. I use most of it in the fritters, by the way, because with the ackee, I don't like a lot of saltfish in there. I like to taste ackee, not saltfish. So I'm cleaning up the saltfish now, and then I'm gonna cut it up small. Dum, 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 dum. So gotta clean up the saltfish. The saltfish have that scale and bone that has to remove, and then you just pick it up or cut it up small. So yeah. Okay, so that part is too hard, so I'm not gonna use it. That more like the wing, closer to the wing. So I like to use that part in the ackee. So the fleshier the saltfish is the better for the fritters. So there you go. So after you clean up the saltfish, it's not a lot, but you want to make sure it have that flavor. And I get some fresh water on the saltfish. Now I'm going to add the seasoning in the water, which is the scallion and the thyme. Okay, so now the seasoning, the saltfish added in the water. Next, I'm going to get the flour. Mix this up a little bit. So now I need the flour, the dough. I'm going to add the dough to it now. To be honest, I didn't use any measurement, so as you can see, that may be like a cup and a half or 2 cups. I don't know. This may be about 4 cups of dough. Using measurement just make me spoil my food. It's like it's so hard for me to use measurement to do everything. I gotta use my wooden spoon to finish mix it up. Yeah, I gotta wipe these things off. Hate to cook in mess. So my wooden spoon, I'm going to use that to mix the dough properly to make sure there is no lump. You don't want to bite your fritters and feel raw flour. So I just taste it a little bit with my finger to make sure that it have enough salt. Maybe could add a little salt to it, but if it don't need it, because the saltfish is already in there. But if it do need a little more salt, I add a little salt to it. Very little. But the next thing I'm going to put in here is some black pepper. The black pepper bring up this awesome flavor to this dough. And that's it. You're just gonna mix it, the ingredients, and then I just cover it for a couple of minutes while I'm getting my seasoning ready for the ackee and saltfish. So for the ackee and saltfish, the seasoning that I use is a piece of bell pepper with tomato and onion If you're going to do it, it depends on what you want, but I use like two, it depends on the amount of ackee. I'm going to cook 2 tins of ackee. So it depends on what you're going to do if you're going to do this menu. I use 2 or 3 tomato because I like to see a little redness in my ackee. I use 1 onion and like a half a bell pepper. So I'm going to cut up the seasoning. But I have to clean up first. Hate to cook in mess. So wash my seasoning. And even though I washed them there, I'll wash them again with running water. So that's a half a bell pepper, 2 tomato, and an onion. That's all. Okay, so after this, I'm going to get the pot ready. Clean up the saltfish. So I'm cleaning up the saltfish now for the ackee. Da-dum, da-dum, da-da-da-da-dum, da-dum, da-da-da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum. Okay, so now both pot is on the fire. So this is for the ackee and this is for the fritters. So I'm gonna do them both at the same time. So I'm gonna add some oil to the pot to fry up the saltfish and the seasoning for the ackee. Now I'm adding the oil for the fritters. I use Western olive. Vegetable. There you have it. The saltfish is in the pot. And I'm frying up the saltfish. As soon as the saltfish gets some color, I'm gonna add the seasoning while the pot is getting hot for the fritters. As you can see, the saltfish start to get some color. Now I'm gonna drop the fritters. So I do 1 spoon, is not a regular spoon. It's the spoon is bigger than a tablespoon. One of those, maybe it hold like 2 tablespoons, I think. Yeah, this spoon is like 2 tablespoons. So I'm dropping them 1 spoon at a time. And I fill the bottom of the pot. So that's it. I'm leaving that to fry while my saltfish and seasoning are cooking up for the ackee. So it's all frying up now. So now I'm going to open the ackee so they could drain. I have to clean off the cans because I don't know where they're coming from. Look how dirty that is. I don't like to cut my cans without wiping them off. So I'm gonna cut these double deuce ackee. Yeah, I like double deuce. The ackee is already cooked and it's just solid. When you cook it, it seems like you don't miss the ackee back home because it is solid. Also have spurtree canned ackee too. So that's water gotta go. I'm gonna throw it off and just leave the ackee to drain. Whatever else water is in there, it will run out by the time the season finish fried. So the season start getting color, guys. And the next thing, because it's fried food, I try to use less oil in my ackee. I don't like too much grease. So now I'm going to turn the fritters. I don't know what it is I'm using because normally you use a fork to turn these things. There you go. Need a fork. Gotta get a fork. I'm gonna open them because they're attached to each other. So I open them so that the oil can go through and fry them properly. Beautiful. Guys, you don't want to, you want to taste this. You want to taste this fritters. It is so good. I would fry fritters night and day. I love it. So now I'm going to add the ackee. Add the ackee and I just take time to turn it. Not hard, but take my time to turn it over so the seasoning can go through. And then I'm going to add a little black pepper, and all it needs is less than 2 minutes. And it's all good. Like, turn the stove down and I just add a little black pepper and that's it. As long as the seasoning get to turn properly on these ackee, that's it. It's all done. Black pepper and that's it. So the ackee is finished while I'm still frying the fritters. They're getting color. They're nice and brown now. Almost ready to eat. Yep, there you go. Ackee's all done. And fritters is almost there. Beautiful. There you go, guys. All set. So fritters is done and I am ready to eat right now. So thank you guys so much for watching, and tell me in the comment section below what you think about my ackee and saltfish with fritters, Jamaican style. This is a Omi. I'm a Omi girl. Don't I yard. blessings. To all my subscribers, bless upon yourself. One love, unity, power, strength. Bye, guys.
It's Willem Jones in on the beat.